This week, we get a look at some customs, we take a closer look at the Yeezy 2s, we take a look at the LeBrons, and we also take a look at the year of the rabbits. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and this is the Weekly Review.
My kick's on fire.
To start things off this week, we go with a custom sneaker courtesy of the Freshmaker. The Freshmaker transformed a classic Air Max 90 silhouette into an Air Jordan 7 Bordeaux that just released a few weeks ago. Black and gray dominate the upper, with Bordeaux and yellow popping up on the tongue just like on the Jordan. I can say the Freshmaker definitely lived up to his name on this pair. Let's move on to number 4. In what seems like forever, Jordan Brand has finally announced the release date for the Air Jordan 7 Retro Year of the Rabbit. Seen here in some beautiful pictures by Dunk, the model is set to make its retail debut on May 7th here in the US. Now for those that are in Asia, you actually get the shoe a week earlier than us because it's launching in Asia on May 1st. From what I understand, there will be some midnight releases for these, so stay tuned and I will let you know as soon as I find out. That's the Air Jordan 7 Retro Year of the Rabbit, launching in the US on May 7th and in Asia on May 1st. With that said, let's move on to number 3. LeBron has rocked 3 different versions of the LeBron 8 this season, and right now we're going to take a look at version 2 in a low-cut design. The model is basically covered with wolf gray all over the upper, with hits of metallic silver on the Nike swoosh and a few other places on the shoe. However, it's not the colorway that's most important about the shoe, it's the low-cut design. A design we haven't really seen LeBron rock at all this season. Right now, there is no release date. However, you know we are on top of it, and as soon as we find out, we will let you know. With that said, let's move on to number 2. We just cannot get enough of Kanye in the Air Yeezy 2. We've seen him in Paris, in London, at Coachella, and in Kobe's movie, rocking the Air Yeezy 2, and it has the blogs at a fever pitch. I mean, everywhere you go, you see news about the Air Yeezy 2. The problem is, no one has any details about the shoe. Everybody has all the same information. They're black at the top, and they're white at the bottom, with maybe a glow-in-the-dark outsole, possibly, and a Velcro strip on the top. And that's basically all we know right now. We don't have any release dates. We don't have any confirmation of the materials or anything like that. However, I will say there are rumors, and these are rumors, that the Yeezy 2 will be releasing in September. We don't know if that's true or not, and believe me, we will let you know as soon as we find out. But with that said, let's move on to number 1. The New York Knicks may not have made it as far as we hoped they would in the playoffs, but they did leave us with a couple of jewels, and those jewels are PEs. And these PEs come from none other than Spike Lee. That's right, Knicks superfan Spike Lee tweeted last week that Air Jordan had supplied him with 2 PEs of the Air Jordan Spiz'ikes, one in blue and one in orange. The blue pair he actually rocked at Game 4, and the orange pair he rocked at Game 3. Unfortunately, the Knicks still lost despite the special shoes that Spike had on. Maybe next year the Knicks will do the right thing. That was so inappropriate. Let's move on to the question of the video. Last week I asked you guys about the criteria you use for picking out your shoes. Whether it's baseball, football, the other football, soccer, cricket, whatever sport it is you play, when you pick a pair of shoes to play in, what is the criteria you use when you pick those shoes? Well, I had some pretty interesting responses from you guys in the comments, and I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of them off to you here. We had the top 2 choices were comfort at 27.4% and style at 25.7%. Now, this is in no way scientific poll at all, but I also thought I should mention that weight, support, and quality were only at 14.2, 11.5, and 8.8% respectively. So basically, as long as your shoes look good and feel good, that's all you guys cares about. Who cares if they're heavy as bricks and they fall apart, right? I guess. I mean, these are your responses, not mine. This is what you guys said. Now, that brings me to the question of this video, and I was reading a lot of the comments, and a lot of the comments were referring to one of their choices, one of the criteria they used was that it had to be a Jordan or a Nike sneaker. And I wanted to ask you guys, why is that? Why do you prefer Jordan or Nike? Is it that the brands, is the quality cheap? Do they not feel as good? Is the quality bad? Or do they just don't perform as well? Do they fall apart? What's up? You guys let me know. So that's my question. Let me know in the comments and I'll read your responses next week. Why Jordan or Nike? Why not anything else? What's the problem with the other sneaker brands? Well, that is the end of the weekly review. I am your host, Jacques Slade. If you enjoyed these videos, please subscribe. That way you'll know as soon as a new video comes out. If Facebook and Twitter is your thing, then that information is down in the description. Again, I am your host, Jacques Slade. I thank you for watching the weekly review, and I will see you next week. Peace.